Have you ever noticed how some people seem to magnetize not just money, but opportunity, influence, and genuine satisfaction in every area of their lives? They don't stumble into success by accident. Rather, they've learned to align their thoughts, beliefs, and actions so precisely that the universe seems to fold in their favor. In essence, everything worthwhile begins as a clear idea. And every idea that truly takes shape in the physical world springs from a mindset deliberately cultivated. In this video, we'll explore a proven system of principles, concepts that have guided countless individuals in transforming mere wishful thinking into tangible achievement. Rather than focusing on who first popularized these ideas, I want to dive straight into the lessons themselves, showing you how each can be put to work today. Whether your goal is financial freedom, stronger relationships, or deeper self-confidence. Imagine waking up each morning with an unshakable conviction that you will achieve precisely what you set out to do. That level of clarity and determination begins with a burning desire, one so vivid and intense that it seizes your imagination and compels you to take action. It's not enough to think, "I'd like more money," or "I'd love a better career." Instead, you need to define exactly what you want, down to the last detail and why it matters deeply to you. Concretely, this means writing a clear statement. For example, by December 31st of this year, I will have generated 50,000 euros in net income, allowing me to pay off my debts and invest in my first rental property. In exchange, I will offer my full dedication, persistence, and willingness to learn new skills. You set a date, you specify the amount, and you declare what you'll give in return in time, effort, or a service you provide. Then, you read that statement aloud twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, imbuing every word with genuine feeling. As you do this, your subconscious mind begins to accept that vision as already true. Before long, your daily decisions, priorities, and even your intuitive hunches align to support that initial burning desire. Let's look at a practical example. Consider a graphic designer who dreams of earning enough each year to break free from freelancing and launch her own studio. Instead of vaguely hoping for more clients, she defines her goal precisely. I will sign 5 new retainer clients by November, each paying 1,000 euros per month. She writes down what she's willing to offer: highest quality design work, rapid turnaround, and personalized brand consultations, and she commits to this statement daily. As she repeats it, she notices a shift. She starts researching agencies that need in-house design backup, reaching out to networking contacts she'd previously neglected, and dedicating 2 hours each morning to crafting targeted social media posts that showcase her portfolio. What once felt like a lofty dream becomes an unstoppable plan because her mind is now tuned to seek out exactly those opportunities. Once you've planted that seed of burning desire, the next essential ingredient is faith, an unshakable belief that your goal is not only possible, but inevitable. Faith isn't blind optimism. It's the practice of deliberately reinforcing positive thoughts and emotions until they become automatic. Suppose you're preparing for a large sales pitch and your inner voice keeps whispering, "They'll never take a chance on me." To counter this, you consciously replace that doubt with statements of affirmation. I have prepared extensively. I understand their business deeply, and I will articulate value so clearly that the purchase will feel like the natural next step. Every time a negative thought arises, you catch it, acknowledge it, and immediately substitute a positive alternative. Over time, these affirmations embed themselves into your subconscious so thoroughly that when it comes time for that sales pitch, you walk in with calm confidence rather than jittery uncertainty. You portray clarity, conviction, and competence qualities that not only persuade others, but also sustain your own determination through obstacles. Faith is closely tied to how you fuel your mind with input. If you spend hours scrolling through fear-mongering news, complaining with pessimistic friends, or rereading old limitations, "I've never been good at public speaking," you're reinforcing a vibration of scarcity and self-doubt. Instead, consciously choose uplifting books, inspiring podcasts, and supportive conversations that remind you of what's possible. If you're an entrepreneur striving to break into a new market, subscribe to industry newsletters that highlight success stories. Join a mastermind group where members cheer each other on, and listen to interviews with leaders who share how they overcame the very challenges you now face. By curating a mental environment filled with possibility, you prime your subconscious to believe that your goals are attainable, an essential step before taking action. With burning desire and unwavering faith in place, the next lesson centers on acquiring and applying specialized knowledge rather than relying on general information alone. You may have read countless business books or watched hours of YouTube tutorials, but if none of that content directly pertains to your exact goal, it will produce minimal traction. Picture a fitness coach who wants to launch an online nutrition program. It isn't enough to know general wellness advice. She needs in-depth understanding of nutritional biochemistry, meal plan design for different body types, and even the latest trends in meal delivery subscription models. By investing time in targeted courses, certifications, or one-on-one mentorships, she gains the raw material to create a genuinely transformative program. Once this specialized knowledge is in her toolkit, she can then channel her creative mind, her imagination, into combining these learnings in unique ways. Perhaps she develops a breakthrough, smart meal system that uses AI to tailor recipes based on DNA testing, giving her an edge that general fitness coaches lack. That creative spark, fueled by deep expertise, becomes a differentiator that attracts premium clients willing to pay significantly more for her innovative solution. Real-life application of specialized knowledge often means taking small but consistent steps every day. If your objective is to become a high-demand freelance writer in a niche market, say, the renewable energy sector, you can start by reading white papers, attending webinars, and reaching out to people already writing in that field. Perhaps you subscribe to trade journals, complete a short certification on technical writing, or volunteer to ghostwrite for a nonprofit that advocates for solar energy. With each increment of expertise, your confidence grows. You collect samples to showcase your authority, and you start positioning yourself as the go-to voice in that space. Soon enough, when a new solar equipment company needs blog posts or case studies, they think of you first exactly because you're not just another writer, but a specialist with proven chops. Yet knowledge and imagination alone aren't enough. They must be harnessed by persistence. It's common to feel exhilarated at the outset of a new venture. But as soon as the first setback, missed deadlines, skeptical clients, or a marketing campaign that flops comes along, many give up. persistence is the discipline of refusing to let temporary defeats derail your long-term vision. You might recall a friend who spent weeks perfecting a product launch only to have sales trickle in at first. Rather than scrapping the whole effort, persistent individuals ask, "What can I adapt? Should I tweak my messaging? Can I solicit customer feedback to refine my offer?" They view every setback not as a sign of failure, but as a signal to retool, learn, and forge ahead. Over time, that relentless refusal to quit separates those who achieve their goals from those who walk away prematurely. One practical way to cultivate persistence is by creating a tight-knit support network, often called a mastermind alliance, comprised of peers, mentors, or colleagues who share your drive and can offer honest feedback. By meeting regularly, whether in person or via video conference, you hold each other accountable, brainstorm solutions when progress stalls, and celebrate milestones, no matter how small. Suppose you're trying to break into the field of UX design. You form a mastermind of 3 other designers at various stages of their careers. One is a recent graduate, one has 5 years of in-house experience, and another has just founded a small UX studio. Each week, you share challenges. "I'm struggling to find my first freelance client." "I need to brush up on interaction design tools," or "I'm debating whether to focus on healthcare or fintech." Together, you offer resources, portfolio advice, course recommendations, warm introductions to potential clients. Because you know you'll report back next week, you feel more motivated to keep moving forward. That collective intelligence and shared commitment keep the flame of persistence alive, even when your own enthusiasm wanes. A lesser-known but profoundly impactful lesson in this system involves transforming natural energy, sometimes referred to as creative energy, into focused ambition. We all possess intense drives, the desire to connect, to create, to break barriers, or express ourselves. Too often, those energies dissipate through distraction or short-term indulgences. Instead, imagine harnessing that same fervor and redirecting it toward your chosen purpose. For instance, a musician who wrestles with distraction could consciously channel the same passion that ignites a performance into writing an album that requires months of disciplined practice. By viewing that creative force as fuel rather than a random urge, they learn to sustain momentum, maintain high levels of inspiration, and avoid burnout. This transmutation of raw emotional energy into productive drive underpins some of the greatest artistic and entrepreneurial achievements throughout history. At this stage, you've clarified your desire, built your faith, gathered specialized knowledge, sparked creative solutions, and nurtured persistence. The next step is to cultivate decision-making skills. Indecision breeds doubt and paralysis. It nourishes fears that whisper, "What if I'm wrong?" Instead, effective decision-making is rooted in gathering enough relevant information, consulting your support network, and choosing a course of action promptly. Once a decision is made, you commit fully, adjust if needed, and move forward. For example, imagine you've been weighing whether to launch a new e-commerce brand selling handcrafted home goods. You research market demand, analyze competitor pricing, and run a small test campaign through social media ads. Within 2 weeks, you have enough data to decide on a product mix and price points. You then execute ordering a small production run, setting up your online store, and launching with a clear marketing plan. If something doesn't perform as expected, perhaps a particular item doesn't resonate, You note the insight, tweak accordingly, and press on. By decisively committing, rather than perpetually thinking about thinking, you maintain forward momentum and avoid the trap of second guessing. Eventually, as your plans move into execution, you begin to notice how your subconscious mind starts to act like an internal advisor. You might wake up at 3 a.m. with a fresh idea on streamlining a workflow, or suddenly feel compelled to reach out to someone who turns out to be the perfect collaborative partner. This phenomenon is often called intuition or the sixth sense. It emerges when you've fed your subconscious consistent, clear input, your burning desire, your affirmations, and your detailed visualization sessions. Even while you sleep, your subconscious continues processing information, sifting through every data point you've gathered, and filtering out the noise to deliver subtle nudges or flashes of insight. Learning to trust this intuitive guidance can accelerate your progress. It tells you when to pivot, which opportunities to seize immediately, or which pitfalls to avoid. If you're building a new software app, that intuitive feeling about which feature to prioritize next can save months of wasted development. The key is to practice discerning between genuine, confident hunches, which feel calm, clear, and persistent, and random, anxious thoughts, which often carry an undertone of worry or fear. As you validate each intuitive hit by acting on it and seeing positive results, your confidence grows until you effortlessly integrate this silent counsel into every major decision. Throughout this process, it's critical to remain vigilant about negative emotions, feelings like fear, jealousy, resentment, or regret. Those emotions act like anchors that hold you back. Have you ever tried to stay motivated after a harsh criticism or an unexpected rejection? If you allowed that resentment to fester, it likely dulled your ambition and narrowed your perspective. Instead, make a deliberate practice of forgiving yourself and forgiving others the moment you notice anger or hurt creeping in. Consider a small but powerful ritual. Whenever you catch yourself holding a grudge, pause, breathe deeply, and internally say, "I choose to release this pain. I embrace forgiveness and move forward with a light heart." That simple act removes the emotional block and frees up mental energy for creativity, problem solving, and progress. By pairing forgiveness with affirmations like, "I am open to love and opportunity now," you reset your subconscious to prioritize growth instead of stagnation. At this point, you have a robust internal framework, a clearly defined goal, deep-seated faith, specialized knowledge, creative imagination, relentless persistence, decisive action, intuitive guidance, and emotional freedom. But there's one more piece of the puzzle: constructing a detailed plan of action and executing it with disciplined focus. Every objective you set should be broken down into manageable milestones, each with its own timeline, resources needed, and success metrics. If your overarching aim is to launch a best-selling podcast within 6 months, you might map out steps like defining your niche and audience by week 1, securing recording equipment and learning editing software by week 2, drafting and recording your first 3 pilot episodes by week 6, creating cover art, intro music, and show notes templates by week 8, and finally, uploading to podcast directories and launching your first official episode by week 10. Alongside this schedule, you establish weekly scorecards where you track progress. Did you record 3 episodes? Did you design art that resonates with your target audience? Did you solicit feedback from beta listeners? These scorecards keep your plans visible and measurable, preventing drift toward half-baked efforts. When you hold yourself accountable not only to your external team or mastermind group, but to your own written commitments, you turn aspiration into reality step by step. Consider a local cafe owner who wants to double her revenue over the next year by adding a small retail line of gourmet beans and branded merchandise. She begins by researching suppliers, designing product packaging, and surveying her regular customers to gauge interest. She then pilots a small selection at her counter and measures which products sell best. Each week, she reviews her sales data, adjusts inventory orders, and refines her marketing. Maybe she adds a loyalty program to encourage repeat retail purchases or partners with a nearby bookstore for a coffee and book bundle. By consistently analyzing results and taking immediate corrective action, she gradually expands her retail offerings without derailing her cafe's day-to-day operations. This methodical, plan-driven execution ensures that vision and reality remain in sync. Finally, it's essential to remember that this entire system is a lifelong practice, not a one-off event. Every day, you'll encounter fresh challenges, market shifts, personal setbacks, new goals that require you to revisit these principles. Reaffirm your burning desire. As your original objective evolves, rewrite your goals with precision. Renew your faith. When new doubts arise, counter them immediately with positive affirmations and uplifting inputs. Update your specialized knowledge. Industries change, technologies advance, and new strategies emerge. So commit to continuous learning. Keep your mastermind alliance active. Surround yourself with peers who challenge you, hold you accountable, and push you to think bigger. Nurture your imagination. Set aside time for free-form brainstorming and trust the sparks that come. Cultivate persistence. Remind yourself that every setback is a lesson. Every closed door opens your eyes to a different opportunity. Sharpen your decision-making. Practice making timely choices and learning quickly. Listen to your intuition. Journal the aha moments you experience each day and see how they guide you over time. Release negative emotions instantly. Forgiveness is not just a one-time act, but a daily commitment to letting go. When you weave these habits into your daily life, morning, noon, and night, you begin to operate at an entirely new level. You'll notice opportunities you once overlooked because your mind now filters the world through a lens of possibility. You'll find yourself thinking of solutions before problems fully emerge, because your subconscious has already mapped paths to circumvent challenges. You'll rebuild relationships on honesty and openness, having learned that emotional health fuels every other achievement. And above all, you'll come to realize that true wealth isn't just the balance in your bank account. It's the reservoir of confidence, clarity, and creative energy that you carry within your own mind.